All I wanna do is rank someone. I got a feeling. Hey! Hey, what's up? I'm Chris Norwood. I'm on a journey to hear every song ever recorded. I don't know why I'm being so goofy today. And today I'm ranking the studio albums by Sheryl Crow. So, Sheryl Crow holds a very special place in my heart, and I know maybe it might not seem like she would because I'm more of a punk rock or alternative type of guy in my musical taste. But Sheryl Crow was the first artist that I discovered on my own outside of my parents' influence. In middle school, one of my English teachers would play the radio periodically. And I listened to what my parents listened to, which was great. My parents loved country, rock, pop, all that stuff. They were listening to so much oldies, and I grew up with a huge, influence from all of my family were musical and are musical people. But Sheryl Crow was the first alternative rock song where I said, "What is that? I have to hear more of that. Tell me what that is. Tell me what influenced that. Tell me what that sound came from. Tell me how to make sounds like that." When I heard "Every Day is a Winding Road," that song was the beginning of my love affair with 90s rock and roll. And it continues to this day, years and years and years later, decades later. So Sheryl Crow, huge, oddly enough, a huge influence. May not have discovered all the rock and roll, all the punk rock, all the heavy metal, all the rock and roll if it weren't for Sheryl Crow. So she holds a very special place in my heart. That being said, I have been kind of let down by a lot of her material, from different points in her career. Let's just get to it. Ranking the studio albums, Sheryl Crow edition. I hate Christmas music. I try. There's very few Christmas albums that I care about. I think Bad Religion and Weezer did some good ones. Blink-182 have done some decent Christmas albums. But I gotta tell you, even those punk rock Christmas records, I just don't need to hear Christmas music. I just don't. And Sheryl Crow's is the worst thing she's ever done, in my opinion. It's jazz country Christmas music. And I like jazz and I like country. But a jazz country album from Sheryl Crow is not something I need to ever hear. But that, I can be a little overcritical. I hate almost all Christmas albums. Cheap Trick, one of my favorite rock bands, their Christmas album, bleh, ooh, garbage. Ooh, yikes. Coming in next is going to be Detours. This one, again, Sheryl Crow has kind of had a stylistic shift over the years. And while this one says rock, pop, and folk rock, I don't hear that. I hear pop. And that sounded disparaging. I love pop music. Most of the music I listen to is pop. Even the heavier stuff can be considered popular music. But I'm just kind of lost touch at this point with her. But it's not a terrible album by any means. It's not a Christmas album. Yikes. Coming in next is an album that kind of looks like her greatest hits DVD and CD. I don't know what's up with this, but it's Feels Like Home. This one came out in 2013. And let's see, Vince Gill and Ashley Monroe are on here. Zach Brown is another feature. And this is another one I'm just kind of meh about. Like, You know, other than the Christmas album, I don't really hate anything that Sheryl Crow's done, but a lot of these albums just could be better. Very skippable, very forgettable. But getting better from there is going to be 100 Miles from Memphis. And came out 10 years ago, 2010, with the single Summer Day, Sign Your Name, Long Road Home. Again, I'm still kind of about this stuff. But don't worry, guys. I'm a fan of Sheryl Crow, and we're getting to some better albums. 2017 is going to be Myself, which is, again, a little bit more of a rock and roll record than previous entries in her discography. Halfway there was the single from the record, and beyond that, bleh. What can I say? The good news is here, though, people, because we're getting towards the good stuff. We're actually in the good stuff now. 2019, last year's Threads. And this is one that it came after so many disappointing records, in my opinion. And when I saw this thing was nearly 80 minutes long, I was like, oh, goodness gracious. These are really great tracks. Really great tracks. So she actually included songs that were off of some other records. But just a really, really well-made record. I know there's been some talk about her retiring from making full-length albums, but I certainly hope that's not the case, as she has made some pretty darn good records, which are coming up. Yeah, coming up next. This is my 5th favorite Sheryl Crow album, record, LP, and it's pretty darn good. Wildflowers. Came out 2005. What a good year for music. Good is good. Good is good and bad is bad. Always on your side. And Perfect Lie. Not a bad album. You know, again, kind of shifting into that pop gear. Let's see what we got. It is in the sort of pop rock, country rock category. But I'm digging it. Digging it a lot. Next album came out in that time period when I was really just trying to snatch up all of the pop music that I could possibly get my hands on. Come On, Come On. Terrible album title. But this one had a pop rock, folk rock, rock and roll vibe. Really long record, but a really good one. Soak Up the Sun and Steve McQueen were some of my favorite singles from 2002, from Sheryl Crow at least. Come On, Come On, the title track, and It's So Easy. Very different than the Guns N' Roses song called that. You're an Original with Lenny Kravitz is okay. Don Henley shows up on It's So Easy. And yeah, the rest of it, you know, kind of got some filler in there, but pretty darn good song. Yeah, pretty darn good. Coming in at my number 3rd spot for Sheryl Crow albums is her 3rd album, Third for Third. Yeah. The Globe Sessions came out in 98. Kind of had a blues rock influence with a little bit of country folk and alternative thrown in there for good measure. But he's okay. My favorite mistake, There Goes the Neighborhood, Anything But Down, Mississippi, the Bob Dylan cover. Really great album, really fun folk rock record. The Globe Sessions, almost good enough to buy. Almost good enough to go out and buy a copy of that for sure. But let's get to these top 2 Sheryl Crow albums. And I think both of these are pretty wildly popular. But let's see. Coming in at number 2 is going to be Tuesday Night Music Club. I think at one point, I believe my parents had a copy of this. Run Baby Run, Leaving Las Vegas will ever kind of be ingrained in my musical DNA. And Strong Enough will be kind of with me forever. All I Want to Do is really great all by myself. It was a Brazilian bonus track. But this is just a really, really great record. 93. I was in third grade because my grades lined up with the year. But yeah, so these have been the Sheryl Crow studio albums. But guess what? There's one more, guys. It's reflecting in my face. The greatest Sheryl Crow album of all time. Actually, I remember, let's just reveal it first and then I'll tell stories. Self-titled. Self-titled sophomore album by Sheryl Crow. Gorgeous, gorgeous album. Gorgeous lady. So I remember the trip to the store in 96, gosh, 24 years ago. Me and my mom, God rest her soul, we went into, I believe, a Kmart, and we ran into a friend of hers that she wasn't really friends with, and she wanted to talk about Leonard Skinner when we said we were there to buy some music. And she's like, if it's not Leonard Skinner, I don't know it. So that's kind of weird. That's kind of a weird story when I bought this record, or when my mom bought this for me. This is perfect record. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Maybe Angels. A change will do you good. Home. Sweet Rosalind. If It Makes You Happy. Just like Every Day is a Winding Road. If It Makes You Happy is one of the first alternative rock songs that I fell in love with after hearing Every Day is a Winding Road. Love is a Good Thing, Oh Marie, Superstar, The Book, and Ordinary Morning. This was self-produced, and this is insanely good. We're going to do a little unboxing too, because I don't know why, I just love watching unboxing videos. It's just really soothing, so I'm going to try to soothe you guys. This is 96 Sheryl Crow. Got some lovely wear and tear there. Gorgeous. Gorgeous lady. Ooh. Had a crush on her in 96. Hormones were going crazy for Sheryl Crow. Oh my goodness. She's so fine. She's so fine. She blows my mind. Thinking back. Palm trees. So yeah, Sheryl Crow. Let's take a look at that one more time. Sheryl Crow, this self-titled album, one of the finest alternative rock records from 96 that you could possibly get your hands on. Wow. If you are only familiar with Sheryl Crow's more modern stuff, do yourself a favor, check out this one, self-titled 96, and Tuesday Night Music Club for the absolute best of her material. If you love both of those, if you go nuts for both of those, check out the Globe Sessions next. Those three are really fine rock and roll records. If you're more on the pop leaning side of things, Come On from 2002 is not a bad way for you to go. Me and Buddy got some stuff to do tonight. Have a good one. Bye. I don't know why I was being so weird just now. I'm sorry. That is not my personality. Have a good night. That's more my speed. Thanks. Thank you guys. Thank you guys so much. Up to almost 30 subscribers. Feel like $1 million. Come on, 30th subscriber.